about there 1 o'clock. Haven't seen anything since then.
Just fucking, once you get on, just open up.
Okay, Roger. I see your element. You got about 4 Humvees out along this.
You're clear.
All right, firing.
Line here. When the stage line. Let me know when you get it.
Or shoot. Light them all up.
202 traffic, 260s.
Come on, fire.
Hey, Roger.
Keep shoot. Keep shoot.
Bushmaster 2-6. Bushmaster 2-6. We need to move time now.
All right, we just engaged all 8 individuals.
Yeah, we got 2 birds. We're still firing.
Roger.
Got him.
6 is a 2-6. We'll move, but we got 13.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was done.
Bypass.
God damn it, Kyle.
All right. I hit him by heck.
Extradition is the legal process by which one country requests another country to deliver a person who is accused or convicted of committing a crime in the requesting country and who is in the jurisdiction of the requested country. As a general rule, extradition procedures are agreed to in treaties. The United States and England have such a treaty. The most critical provision of the treaty is Section 1 of Article 2. This clause provides that a person may only be extradited between the United States and England if the conduct on which the criminal charges are based is a felony in both countries. Assange was indicted in Virginia in March 2018. The indictment charges him with conspiracy to commit computer intrusion. In essence, the indictment alleges that Assange conspired with Bradley Manning to use a computer to obtain secret government information from the United States. This conduct is made a crime by Section 1030 of Title 18 of the United States Code, among other statutes. It is odd that the government did not accuse him of violating the Espionage Act. Section 793, Subpart C of Title 18 of the United States Code prohibits theft of government secrets. This crime is more applicable to the charged conduct, and it is a more serious crime. It is the crime Obama almost always charged leakers with. In any event, it appears that using a computer to obtain privileged information is a crime in England. Likewise, conspiracy is a crime in England. Furthermore, in England, it is a crime to encourage someone else to commit a serious offense, such as misuse of a computer. As a consequence, it appears that the conduct of which Assange is accused would also constitute a crime in England. I am certain that there will be a major fight in court over this, so we will have to wait for the case filings. Assuming that the case satisfies the threshold issue, Article 8 of the treaty sets out what the United States will have to prove to the English court. As you can see, the government must prove that Assange is the person accused in the indictment. The government must also provide evidence that Assange committed the crime for which he has been indicted. This does not mean that the government must prove the offense beyond a reasonable doubt. The extradition proceeding is not a trial. Instead, the government is only required to show probable cause. Many people have been arguing that this case violates the First Amendment. The gist of the argument is that while the government has the broad power to keep secrets, the press has an equally broad power to reveal those secrets, and that Assange did nothing more than the ordinary work of journalism.
What do you make of our effort to extradite and indict and punish probably Julian Assange?
I'm deeply concerned by what's happened today. We look back at the Obama administration's decision during his time not to do this, not to try to extradite Assange and charge him because of their concern about how this government action would impinge on freedom of the press. This is a blow to transparency and a blow to a free press when you have a situation where our government, is in a position where they can basically create this climate of fear against somebody or those who are publishing things that they don't like. or saying things that they don't like. And that's the concern here. This is a threat to journalists, but it's also something that threatens every American, because the message that we are getting, that the American people are getting by what's happened here today is, be quiet, toe the line, otherwise there will be consequences.
This argument is valid and important, but it is a political argument. It is not legally relevant to the charges the government has filed. Assange is not charged with publishing government secrets. He is charged with conspiring to steal government secrets. As a result, it is unlikely that he will be permitted to argue that there was a public interest in his activities. More to the point, the argument is probably not relevant to the extradition proceedings. The law in England does protect the free exercise of expression, which is provided for in the European Convention on Human Rights. However, Section 2 of Article 10 of the Convention makes clear that the freedom of expression is subject to restrictions imposed by the law. Moreover, England's Official Secrets Act of 1989 includes the obvious provision that government secrets may not be disseminated. Thus, it appears that Assange's publication of government secrets could not be justified, even if it were relevant to an evaluation of the charged conduct. Nevertheless, even though the court is most likely to exclude evidence of a public interest or the human rights issue, it is likely that the point will be fiercely litigated both in court and in the public discourse. Some people have been arguing that the charges against Assange are barred by the statute of limitations. The indictment was filed 8 years after the alleged conduct took place. This is outside the 5-year statute of limitations, which most likely applies. However, Section 3290 of Title 18 of the United States Code disposes of this argument. It provides that a fugitive from justice does not enjoy the benefits of a statute of limitations. One of the more compelling issues, which is likely to be addressed, is the horrific conditions of America's prison system. The Europeans have relatively high standards for prisons and the care of prisoners. As a result, in 2018, the High Court in England refused to extradite someone to America because of the prison conditions there. The court found that the conditions in American federal facilities are unconscionable because of the absence of sunlight, fresh air, air conditioning in the heat, and outdoor exercise, and because of very poor food and medical treatment. In this particular case, there were some extenuating circumstances. This will limit its precedential value to Assange. However, it is enough to make a huge fight. This will play particularly well in the media, and this may put some political pressure on the courts. Let me turn to one last major issue. The extradition treaty includes the rule of specialty. What this means is that if Assange is extradited, he may only be tried for the conduct for which he was extradited. By the terms of the treaty, the government may not add charges to his indictment once he is here. That said, we are discussing the United States. International propriety, indeed the law itself, doesn't really mean anything in these circumstances. More specifically, as to the rule of specialty, most American courts have already held that the accused does not have standing to object to a violation. The right to object belongs to the country which granted the extradition, and America's poodle is not likely to object to anything that happens with Assange. In conclusion, although Assange will be able to put up a fight, the odds are against him. If the United States maintains an extradition request, it is almost certain that he will be delivered to American law enforcement for trial in Virginia. I am also cynical enough to believe that his trouble won't end there. The Joint Chiefs learned that the key to keeping the war machine running is to keep the public in the dark. If the public sees war for what it is, the public will pressure the politicians to find a peace. One strategy the war industry uses is to monopolize the airwaves. WikiLeaks threatened this monopoly, and this is probably Assange's real violation. The legal proceedings is the window dressing.